Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sydney Curling Club. We at Curling Canada have a proud tradition of many things, including starting events on time, and today's going to be no exception. It's 11:30, and you're welcome. And we have an audience watching around the world on YouTube for an exciting day for the sport of curling here in the Cape Breton region. First off, we acknowledge that we are in Unama'ki, the Mi'kmaq name for Cape Breton Island, which is one of 7 traditional districts of Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. I'd like to call upon Jeff Ward, General Manager of Member 2 Heritage Park, to open our event with a ceremony of welcome.
Kwe, Minalotio. It's good to see everybody here today. Welcome. Bajasi, Upjalasi. Bienvenue tout le monde. How's she going? Who's your father by? Coming to how? It's a true honor to be here today. And what I want to share with you is a welcome song. And a song is also known as a chant. And a chant is a spiritual language. And it's a prayer. So it's all in one. So we're going to open up this ceremony with a good way, with a good chant, and a good song. Very old, ancient Mi'kmaq chant. Guano de he, guano de ya, guano de he, guano danet, guano de he, guano de ya, guano de he, guano danet, guano de he, guano de he, guano de he, guano de ya, guano de he, guano danet, guano de he, guano de ya, guano de he, guano danet, guano de he, guano de ya, guano de he, guano danet, guano de he, guano de he, guano de he, guano de ya, guano de he, guano danet. Everybody! Guano de he, guano de ya, guano de he, guano danet, guano de he, guano de ya, guano de he, guano danet, guano de he, guano de he, guano de he, guano de ya, guano de he, guano ya, eh, oh. Tahoe. In our language, we say Tahoe. We raise our left arm because it's connected right to our heart. So I want to teach you your first Mi'kmaq word today. All together, Tahoe. 1, 2, 3. Tahoe. Like you mean it. It's like saying hallelujah or yeehaw. I studied your people in social studies. Thank you. Well, Alan, hope to see you all here soon.
Welcome to Tough Acts to Follow for 200, Alex. But I'll try. My name is Al Cameron. I'm the Director of Communication and Media Relations for Curling Canada, and today I also get to be the Director of handing out some really, really cool news. So I'm going to open the speech that I've written. Hello and bonjour tout le monde. It's really my pleasure and my privilege to be representing Curling Canada, our Board of Governors, our staff, and our partners and colleagues at the World Curling Federation today on what is an exciting day for the sport of curling and the region of Cape Breton. J'ai le plaisir et le privilège de représenter Curling Canada, notre conseil de gouverneurs, nos employés et nos partenaires et collègues à la Fédération mondiale de curling aujourd'hui en cette journée excitante pour le curling. So let's get right to it, shall we? I am thrilled, I'm excited, I'm privileged to announce that the 2024 World Women's Curling Championship will be played right here in Sydney. You should all pat yourselves on the back. That was pretty cool. So if you want to add it to your phone calendars right now, March 16th to 24th, 2024 at Center 200. You can lock that in right now. There are, as you likely know, a ton of people who've worked very hard to make today's announcement possible, but it really starts with our partners and our colleagues at the World Curling Federation. Their vision, their passion, and their leadership for our sport continues to take curling to new levels around the world. And a very special thanks to new World Curling Federation President Bo Welling, and on behalf of Curling Canada, thank you all for your continued faith in our organization to hold these events in Canada. The Cape Breton Regional Municipality really hit it out of the park 3 years ago when the Scotties was here, as many of you know. And they made it crystal clear to us very early that they wanted to bring a major event back to Cape Breton. The support and dedication of Mayor Amanda McDougall and Council, as well as Destination Cape Breton, couldn't have been more profound, and we were thrilled to be able to make this happen for the great people in this region. Thank you to Councillor Eldon MacDonald, who's here with us today, as well as a number of other officials from the municipality and Destination Cape Breton. They just did outstanding work on this bid. And it wasn't, they deserve a big round of applause. They weren't alone in wanting to bring this event to Cape Breton, and I know the Member 2 and Eskasoni First Nations, as well as your local elected representatives for both the federal and provincial governments also were on board. A special thank you to the Member 2 and Eskasoni First Nation for their support, as well as our partners at the Government of Canada and the Government of Nova Scotia. I spent the last 2 days in Ottawa, as a matter of fact, in meetings with our member associations. And it was very cool because you have a group of people that all want the same things for our sport in Canada. And it's really a privilege to have the opportunity to work with those member associations across Canada to continue building our sport. And the Nova Scotia Curling Association truly is a leader in that department. And I'd like to thank Yvon Lafleur, the regional director for Cape Breton, for the Nova Scotia Curling Association, for his valuable contributions and that of the NSCA to make today's announcement possible. And Yvonne, I suspect you'll be one of the guys with a maple leaf painted on your cheek, waving a flag, cheering for Team Canada at Center 200. But I think you will too, right, Jeff? And to our local host committee. Wow, what a group. They're headed by Vice Chairs Paul McDonald, Joanna Murray, Kirk Durning, and Terry Smith. You've already put in a lot of work getting us just to today's stage, and you got 16 more months of this kind of thing. But I know this is the team to make it a success. And I can promise you that Curling Canada will be working alongside you to make this event truly successful on and off the ice. We look forward to working with you over these next 16 months. So again, thanks to all of you for joining us today, and we'll see you at Center 200 in 2024. So we do a lot of these kind of events across Canada, World Championships, the Scotties, Tim Hortons Briers, and I got to say one of the main reasons that these events work is the cooperation of the arenas. Obviously Center 200, first-class facility, and we look forward to going back in there. But one of the things that's often overlooked for an event such as this is that we have to kick a hockey team out for 2 weeks. And listen, the Cape Breton Eagles, I really appreciate, we can't say enough good things about how the Eagles have come to the table and made this possible. And I'd like to shout a shout out to the Cape Breton Eagles. I believe the president, Gerard Shaw, is here with us today. Gerard, thank you so much. Thank you to you and the franchise for making room for us. We appreciate it. So we mentioned about the Cape Breton Regional Municipality, and I would like to introduce Councillor Eldon MacDonald to come up and say a few words on behalf of the regional municipality.
Thanks very much, Al. Everyone, welcome today. This is a great announcement for our community. We've already proven that we're a host that's to be applauded for the Tournament of Hearts that has been here. We are looking at making ourselves a destination in Atlantic Canada for events, and this is just another great event that's going to come to our community. As Al mentioned, we do have some councillors with us today. Councillor Prush is here with us, Councillor Green, Councillor Gillespie, and we also have Councillor Larry Daphne from Victoria County. So welcome and thank you for coming down for the event. This is a tremendous opportunity for growing curling. We know what the Tournament of Hearts did for our community. This is going to put us on a world stage to bring people from all over the world here to see our community, welcome them here. I can't think of a better event for us to be hosting. So for all the work and the effort that has come in from our team, Paul McDonald and those that have been involved, Curling Canada and everybody in between that has participated in this project. I really appreciate all the time, energy, and effort that has gone into this, and I can't wait for this tournament to come. I was at the Tournament of Hearts tournament, and I will be at this one also with my wife watching on. So I'm just so pleased that it's coming here today. The opportunity this brings to our community, to our businesses, restaurants, hotels, spin-off, is just going to be incredible to the business community. We have a redevelopment being done of our downtown. Most of that will be completed by 2024. It's just going to be it's going to be a great opportunity to welcome the world to that environment. Takes time, but we're getting there, and I'm just excited to make this happen. I was excited the last time, and I'm equally and more excited this time to have it happen here. So thank you very much again for coming today. Thank you and everyone involved, and we look forward to continuing that work in partnership with all of our partners. Thank you.
I'm no expert, but I feel like he touched a nerve there. That said, the last time I was here in 2019 compared to today and seeing stuff being done, I think that's a real sign of activity. It's positive for your community, and wow, I can't wait to get back and see the finished product in 2024. Eldon, you touched upon why this event is important, what it does for communities, and that's a reason that we receive so many bids to host these events. It's a competition, and I would like to acknowledge all of the other bids that submitted. You're all terrific, but it's a real reflection on what the Cape Breton Regional Municipality and Paul and his team put together to get this event here. Just so you know, this is multi-millions of dollars in economic activity, somewhere in the range probably $8 to $10 million of economic activity, hotel rooms, restaurants, visiting people. There's going to be 2 complete TV production crews that are producing not only for TSN, but for the rest of the world, where you're having millions of viewers in Asia, in Europe. This is all exposure for the Cape Breton Regional Municipality and its business for your hotels. And I would really like to thank all the other communities for submitting bids. And listen, the 2025 bidding process is officially underway, and we'd like to hear from you. The support of the First Nations is really profound for our events. I don't know how many of you were able to watch the Tim Hortons Canadian Curling Trials from Saskatoon last November, and we had the Saskatoon Tribal Council stage the opening and closing ceremony, and it was just presenting star blankets to the players. And the involvement of the First Nations in the respective regions is truly important and for us, and we will continue that going forward. And I would like to introduce Councillor Star Paul to speak on behalf of the Eskasoni First Nation on today's announcement. Star?
Gwe, ni indelui si Star Paul, nujit bludege, ukjit wegui stochonik, akirud limulo, pjilasi unamagi, dan migma wedebek sultijig. I am Star Paul, Councillor of Eskasoni First Nation. Unamagi, Cape Breton is an amazing multicultural island that with warm, hospitable people and home of 5 Mi'kmaq First Nations communities. I'd like to personally welcome you all to the unceded traditional territory of the Mi'kmaq. On behalf of my community of Viskasoni, I hope that all participants of the 2024 World Women's Curling Championships enjoy their experience when they visit our island home firsthand and hear our stories. Thank you.
So when you make an announcement such as this, one of the first questions that comes to mind, and I'm sure a few of you are already asking this question, how do I volunteer? How do I buy tickets? We'll be making those details available early in 2023. You can expect a ticket launch during one of our events, such as probably the Scotties or the Tim Hortons Brier. Keep watching the TSN broadcasts, but also you can sign up to receive ticketing and volunteer updates on the Curling Canada website, and you'll be getting information as soon as it happens. So you'll be able to get your first crack at those coveted seats at Center 200. I mentioned the Nova Scotia Curling Association and what leaders they are in our sport, and how this association, by the way, is taking our sport in the right direction. You should know that Nova Scotia young curlers in particular, and I see a few here with us today, welcome. The youth curling situation in Nova Scotia right now is off the chain. It's ridiculous how good they are. You've got Owen Purcell, who is going to the Universiade in Lake Placid, and he won a bronze medal at the World Juniors. You've got so many great young teams, and the futures of curling is in very good hands, and that's thanks to the leadership of the Nova Scotia Curling Association. And I'd like to invite Yvonne Lafort to come up and speak on behalf of the Nova Scotia Curling Association.
Well, thank you, Al, and it's a great pleasure to represent the Nova Scotia Curling Association, and I'd like to thank the World Curling Federation, obviously, for having confidence in us to host such a large event here in the Cape Breton Regional Municipality. I think it's going to be an honor. I'd like to thank the Sydney Curling Club for hosting this event today, and of course CBRM for all of their work to bring this event to us. So we were very fortunate to host the 2019 Women's Scotties Tournament of Hearts here in Sydney. And as the Nova Scotia Curling Association, we witnessed what a tremendous success it was. The electricity in Center 200 was just amazing. And I'm sure the curlers on the ice witnessed that same electricity in the building. So we know this event is really going to be fabulous for us. The Nova Scotia Curling Association is very happy that this event is coming to Sydney and CBRM. We've witnessed in 2019 with the Scotties Tournament of Hearts how many new curlers that tried the sport since the event, both young and old. And we believe this is a tremendous opportunity to expand the sport and to allow other peoples who may have had doubts about trying curling to give it a shot and come out and enjoy the sport that we're also so happy to enjoy on a daily basis ourselves. So I'd just like to congratulate everyone that was involved. We know that the volunteers are going to be coming out in droves in Cape Breton the way they were in 2019 for the Scotties Tournament of Hearts, and we know that we are going to show to the world what volunteers can do here in the Sydney area, in Cape Breton Regional Municipality, and showcase our island to the world in 2024.
So yeah, the 2019 Scotties, that was a pretty darn cool event, and I know a lot of these faces were in the room there, and a great curling event, a great Scotties patch. Some of you may not remember, which I get. I visit the patch on occasion, research purposes only, of course, but it's going to be a great event. And, you know, we're in an interesting time in curling, especially for world curling. And many of you will be watching next week on Monday, the first edition of the Pan-Continental Curling Championships will take place. And in fact, I'm getting on a plane this afternoon to go straight to Calgary for the Pan-Continentals, and that event will decide 5 of the countries that will be competing in World Championships. So I urge you all to see that, watch that, because that's going to happen again in 2024, and that'll determine many of the countries that will be coming to Sydney. So it's going to be a very, very cool event. Now, we talked about that 2019 Scotties and why it was such a success, and I think one of the big reasons is about to speak on behalf of the local host committee. Paul McDonald is one of those guys, and I got to tell you a story, Paul. Our mutual friend, Gord McNabb, who he writes the contracts on behalf of Curling Canada. And he talks to all the local host committees when they're hosting an event, and he tells them they got to sharpen their pencil. You've probably heard that expression from him a few times, but I can tell you this. When Gord writes contracts, he says, I wish they were all as good and professional to deal with as Paul McDonald. And that speaks highly of what Paul does for your community. Paul, come on up and bring her home.
Well, here we are. Again, I'd like to thank Curling Canada and the World Curling Federation for showing faith in our area once again. There's no question 2019 we had a successful event with the Scotties, and I guess we sat down and took a look at what would be available and what we could do, and we have a great partner in Curling Canada, and they sort of guided us on this path. But before I move along, I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the other members of this team that put this bid together. I see Kirk Durning in the back of the room, and I think Terry Smith. Kirk is my boss now. He is our director in the CBRM, and Terry Smith with Destination Cape Breton. Joanna Murray with Destination Cape Breton. We formed a partnership. We put an excellent bid together, if I don't mind saying so. I thought the bid was, even the document itself was well done and well received. I know by Curling Canada. I'm very proud of that document, and I think it's a template for future folks that want to put bids together, whether for curling or other sports. It's an exciting time for us in this area. As Al mentioned, you see what's happening in this area, in the downtown areas particularly, the growth. And again, this is another event that we're bringing in to what I believe is one of the best event destinations, not only in Atlantic Canada, but in this country. I think Eldon mentioned that, or somebody mentioned, we're moving in that direction. I think we're there. I think we've proven it time and time again. And, excuse me, I'm excited about this opportunity in 2024. It sounds like it's a long way away, but as Al mentioned, it's 16 months, so we've got a lot of work ahead of us, but we're excited about that. And again, we've got great partners. We have great partners with Curling Canada. We've got great partners within our community. We have great support from the CBRM. They've never held me back. They've never said no. It's just go, keep going, and that's what we're going to do. And I think, again, for folks, I know in the curling community will be excited about this, but I've had the pleasure of attending a world event. It is unique. It's different than the national events, and it's a chance to wave the flag, and I think that's important as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing most of you, again, volunteering if you can for this event and supporting it whenever way you can. We've got great support from our local clubs here in the CBRM and throughout Cape Breton Island, and in fact, Yvonne, for all of Nova Scotia. We've heard from clubs, we'll set up for you, we'll put tables out, we'll sell tickets, we'll do whatever it takes. So it's just not a Sydney event, it's just not a Cape Breton event, it's a provincial event, and I'm certainly proud to welcome everybody to Cape Breton in March of 2024. And again, I want to thank you for all your support over the years. I know this was kind of a sort of a secret for a while, but anyway, the cat's out of the bag now, and we're looking forward to seeing everybody coming from all across the world here to Cape Breton in March 2024. Thank you very much.
Wow, we're 7 minutes long. I said we'd be wrapped up by 11:48, but I think it was worth it, don't you? I think we should practice real quick here. If you remember the Scotties, obviously Team Nova Scotia was there, but you had a lot of favorite teams there. I know you did. But this time around, I think we all know who your favorite team is going to be that you're cheering for at the World. So why don't we get in practice here? Go Canada, go! Go Canada, go! I like it. I like it. All right, thank you all for coming out. We'll see you in 2024. Now, message to the media, if you like have some interviews you'd like to do, I can arrange those for you, pictures. We can make that happen, and I believe a lunch is about to be served. Lunch is at the back. Thank you all for coming out, everybody. Congratulations.